I love the attention to detail.
Yeah.
Having a photography background and being fascinated with this sort of stuff and the equipment, and
Yeah.
it's super cool. I think it's an art form in itself, man. Just being in that niche,
It is
sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this industry is competitive too, because there's a lot of guys nowadays who, this is what they do. They take photos in the gun industry. So if you want to stand out, you have to be super creative to think of different ways. Like, well, how do we capture this gun differently than other people have done it, or how do we make this video so it can be trending and be something that other people are going to want to recreate, so we have that virability. You know what I mean? So. That's a huge part of what we do, and I have to give kudos to the content team we have now, because super talented people. Just like we're talking about, they really care. They want to excel. They want to provide a really great product to the clients, and they care about their craft. You know what I mean? So when you have this smaller group of people who all really care about providing a great final product, I mean, the amount of different things that come out of it is awesome. And it's super cool to be a part of a company that has that drive and that determination to make something cool and unique.
Yeah, you guys are a bit more of a team or a family than it is like work almost type of mentality.
Yeah, and I mean, it's there is a fine line there, because obviously it's still a business, right? Like, things have to get done, but Luke is a phenomenal guy, like just a great leader, and has provided a lot, you know what I mean, and has done a lot for the people at CMG. So I'm just, when you have obviously your leadership, just like we were talking about earlier, like going back to the Marine Corps, like your leadership is everything. And if your leader is pushing you to be better and is pushing you to do these different things, like it translates, into the finished product. So I think it's super cool to be a part of. I'm just super blessed to have this opportunity and the job where I'm at right now. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better team.
So looking at some of these photos, like some of the cool stuff that you guys have gotten to do, like go get embedded with the U.S. Marshals or rent a Black Hawk for a shoot.
Yeah.
Have guys fast rope out of this MH60s on a shoot or something, right? Like, it's so cool. Like, what's the craziest thing that you've seen or been able to be a part of that?
So one of the first photo shoot, one of the first ones we did with a helicopter in San Diego was pretty wild. That was actually my first time riding in a Black Hawk, which was unreal. I mean, it was surreal. You know what I mean? Like, just having this Black Hawk come down and like dust off and like taking photos of guys fast roping out of it. I mean, it was just super cool. That, and then so we're starting to do content now at the Dillon Aero compound, which is where some of this like recent content with like the miniguns and stuff is coming out of, and that place is like it's like Candyland for guys like me, you know what I mean? Because there's literally like miniguns on Defenders, there's miniguns on a Hilux, there's miniguns on helicopters, and they have this huge property where they're flying the helicopter over this range and then like shooting the minigun out in different targets, and it's super cool. So like just being able to see that, because I never saw a minigun go live in the military. You know what I mean? The Marine Corps doesn't have miniguns.
Are they shooting tracer rounds out of it too?
Yeah. There's tracers.
So badass.
Yeah. It's super cool.
Wow.
So just, I mean, being able to be a part of that is just is super cool. I'm super thankful to be able to do that kind of stuff. It's something I never would have thought that I would have been able to do. And again, it kind of goes back to my
that's
whole,
the stuff that you think you would have done in the Marines,
right?
As opposed to like,
on a
photo shoot, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just ties back into like, just everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, again, like if I hadn't gotten out of the military, I probably never would have met any of these people that I got to meet and work with and learn from. I never wouldn't have been able to have the opportunities I have now. So, I mean, I'm just super thankful for the way things have turned out. You know what I mean? I couldn't be more happy with what I'm doing. It's a good gig.
No, that's awesome. So I guess my next question is, with your role that you have now and dealing with so much social media, what are some of the kind of like, for somebody that's just getting into this, us included, like I've learned so much just through the podcast and my recent help with Matt O'Connor helping me out, with the editing, shout out. And just like YouTube algorithms and like all this different stuff, like it is just a never ending cycle of learning and trending and all this sort of stuff. So is that something that you guys, how do you keep your hand like kind of on the pulse of that? Like, are there any hacks or like?
Well, I mean, so the one thing, I mean, you kind of hit it, is like being aware of trends, right? Like the only way you're going to be aware of trends is being on social media, which